Welcome back, Ben. If I can start it, you came here last 12 months ago, one of your first trips outside of US. You were just inside 100 in the world. You come back 12 months later and you're 17. You've had an incredible year. Can you tell us how you think your year's been?
Yeah, I thought it went really well. I thought I learned a lot of things throughout the year, and it was really important for my growth and development. But yeah, it started here in Auckland last year. This is my first main draw ATP outside of the United States, and I was lucky that the tournament here gave me a wild card. So I'm happy to be back and playing again this year.
Michael?
What are your memories of being here last?
A lot of
year?
rain.
Apart from
No, I really enjoyed being here in Auckland. I think one of the things that I like the most is the food. There's a lot of good food in the city, and the people are really nice. Everyone working the tournament is very pleasant, and yeah, I enjoyed the vibe of the tournament. I think it's a really cool center court, stadium court that they have that I didn't get to play on last year, but hopefully I get to play on it this year. I feel like it's always pretty packed, sellout crowds, and they do a really good job here for it being at 250. So,
why do you think last year went so well for you?
I don't know. I think it was a little bit of being able to play with nothing to lose. I have a lot of long-term goals, and I'm not too worried about the tournaments or results in the moment. I'm trying to build my game to something in the future. So I think that makes it easy for me to play without the pressure of having to perform in a specific week.
Are you feeling more of that pressure now since your ranking has gone up so much?
No, I wouldn't say so. Maybe it looks a little bit like that from the outside. A lot of the matches that I'm playing now, maybe I'm the favorite, whereas last year I was more of an underdog in the year before. But yeah, like I said, I don't think that I'm where I want to be yet with my game, and I'm definitely not the final product. So I have a lot to look forward to and try to improve in my game, and so those are kind of the things that I'm focusing on rather than pressures.
I remember last year I think you'd only just got your passport and you'd never been outside the US, so it was a big step, a lot to learn.
Yeah.
What were the biggest things to get used to last year, travelling so much and being in so many different countries and having all these experiences?
Yeah, it's just a much different lifestyle. When I was in college, you spend most of your nights at home in your own bed, and now I'm kind of living in hotels, going from city to city. I think jet lag is probably one of the bigger things, getting acclimatized to the new places that you go. I remember last year and the first trip to Australia, it took me like 8 or 9 days to feel alive. I was dead. And this year, after probably like 3 days, I felt good. So it's just one of those things, the more that you see, the more that you know. So, yeah, I think I got a lot of that out of the way last year.
Do you feel more worldly now that you've seen other countries other than America?
More worldly?
Yeah.
Not sure what that means, but sure, yeah.
But you've experienced other places around the world now, so I guess your view of maybe not view, but
more cultured, maybe.
Yeah, more cultured, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's been cool. I got to see a lot of different places, different continents, cultures, and for the first time, I feel like a lot of these guys got to experience these different things at young ages, 15 or 16, playing ITFs. But for it to all happen in 1 year was kind of crazy for me. Like, it was all flooding in at once. But, yeah, it's been cool.
One of the things people say about you, obviously you had a great Australian Open, US Open last year, but you went through that patch where you couldn't get past the second round of a lot of tournaments. How much did it mean to have two strong tournaments at the end of the year where I guess you could show that you could go deep in other tournaments outside the slams?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a learning curve for me last year. I had a big result at the Australian Open. I think was a little bit of a surprise, especially for me. And then you go into a bulk of the season where I'm playing on two surfaces that I've never played on before in my life. So I wasn't expecting to really have amazing results my first year on tour or to be winning all the time. I think that the Australian Open was a big surprise last year, and then I started to, build my game on the other surfaces, feel a little bit more comfortable with the travel, but everything was new to me. So to be able to finish the year somewhere I'm comfortable, a tournament I've played 3 times now, at the U.S. Open, and then the hard courts, indoor hard court, fast conditions like Shanghai and Tokyo. It felt a little bit more like easy and at home than playing on those other surfaces during the middle part of the year.
Yeah, sure. So what's your goals for 2024?
Yeah, I have a lot of developmental goals for 2024, things that I want to see improve in my game, things that I want to continue to just see get better each practice, each week. And in terms of result-based goals, I just keep that between me and my team. I feel like, there's no winning in the media. You set your goals too low, people are going to give you a hard time. You set them too high, they'll give you a hard time. So that's for me and my team, and I'll let you guys know how I did at the end of the year.
What was the experience like for you in your first year in the tour to play Djokovic at the US Open, packed out stadium and the whole nation watching you? How do you try not to be overwhelmed by having an experience like that so early in your career?
Yeah, it was a really, really cool experience. I kind of hard to believe after 1 year on tour I was playing in Arthur Ashe, packed stadium, multiple matches in a row, with the Tiafoe match and the Djokovic match. I guess I was a little surprised with how calm I was on the court. I thought I'd be a little bit more nervous going into the match, but honestly it felt okay for how big the moment was. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having some more moments like that this year. And yeah, it's something I really enjoy, playing in front of big crowds and on big stadiums.
I remember your dad wasn't too happy with Djokovic during the dialed-in thing afterwards. How did you feel about it?
I don't really have any comment on that. I don't know why we're still talking about it. I feel like I've answered that question more than enough times, so I kind of want to let it rest.
Are you still, when you come across guys like Djokovic, Nadal, are you still starstruck, or is it you see them now as your equals?
Nah, I definitely don't see those guys as my equals. I'd say there's definitely still a little bit of starstruck. Like last week in Brisbane, like, oh yeah, I'm out here hitting with Nadal right now. I wouldn't say that like if I have a practice with those guys, I'm nervous anymore. It feels like a normal-ish practice. But yeah, it's cool to be around those guys, and for a second it'll like feel normal that not just those guys but other guys in the locker room I'm just like saying hello to or walking past, and then later in the day I'm like, oh, did I just walk past that guy and just say what's up to him? So yeah, it's been like quick for me, the change from not really being on tour and not knowing anyone to feeling like I know everybody out here.
And are you happy with the route you've taken? As you say, a lot of guys travel when they're 15, 16 and go to Europe and do all that. Are you happy with the way you've done it?
Yeah, I think it really worked out for me. I don't think that any way is perfect or that my route would have worked out for other people. But I think that it was really good for me to be able to be home, go to normal school, play other sports, have like a lot of balance in my life at a young age. And now I'm 21 and I don't feel burnt out at all. I feel like tennis, if you're traveling a lot from an early age, it's easy to feel burnt out. I mean, the guys who have done it from 14 or 15 to 36. I just played with Richard Gasquet today. He's been in the top 100 for 19 years straight. Like, that's very impressive. I don't know if I could do anything like that.
And with all this travel, have you been able to keep up with following all the American sports you probably like to follow? Much easier when you're at home compared to
Yeah, it's easier at home. Actually, the timing's been all right. I've been following the NBA games. They happen to be like in the morning or early afternoon here. I think my Atlanta Hawks play in a couple hours. So I've been following the NBA and NFL some.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ben.